You gave me so much. How did I do with the debate the other night?
Oh,
He kicked
amazing.
that old broken down pile of
Yeah.
It's a bad guy. He just quit, you know. He's quitting the race.
Is that right?
Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic.
It's so amazing.
It's just so bad. So,
I just can't imagine.
but can you imagine that guy dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man, a very tough guy. And they see him. They can't. But they just announced he's probably quitting.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Just keep knocking him out, right?
That's it.
Trump's complaints go beyond Harris's supposed lack of expertise. He also put a question mark to her capacity to handle world leaders like Putin and the Chinese president. With all these, Trump shows how incompetent and unfit Harris is to even step into Biden's shoes.
But whatever else can be said about crooked Joe Biden, you have to give him credit for one brilliant decision, probably the smartest decision he's ever made. He picked Kamala Harris as his vice president.
Here's a little compilation of some of her weird clips someone posted on X.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. You know? What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What we can see, what we believe can be unburdened by what has been.
The internet is undefeated. What do you think about this news? Rumors have been moving around among the Democrats that Biden might step down after the debate performance. It's hard to imagine someone worse than Biden, but Kamala might be. She would be such an easy target for Trump. There's a good chance Biden will be replaced, and possible options being talked about include notable Democratic figures, like California Governor Gavin Newsom, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, and New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy. Biden, however, seems determined to run. He let out a statement on X saying that he won't step down, and Democrats should support him.
She has some bad moments. Her moments are almost as bad as his. I think his are worse, actually.
Yeah.
But
She seems pretty senile, too.
she speaks in rhyme. It's weird. The bus will go here, and then the bus will go there, because that's what buses do. And it's weird. The whole thing is weird. This is not a president of the United States future.
Trump is hilarious. I think he's a natural comedian. That's a big part of his charm. He laughed at her for using rhymes and producing absurd comments such as, the bus will go here and then the bus will go there because that's what buses do. Because we could all see her saying that. Harris is often seen speaking gibberish in media appearances. Trump promptly pointed this out, suggesting she was nearly as terrible as Biden in this sense.
Campaign with the plan. Uppercase T, uppercase P. The plan.
Do you plan to visit the border?
Not today. But I have before, and I'm sure I will again. I said I'm going to go to the border. And
When are you going to the border, Vice President?
the administration has asked. I'm not finished. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. We are doing it.
But should we have done it sooner?
We are doing it.
He made fun of her for her clumsy and unusual speech pattern. Fueling the flames, public appearances and multiple media clips have been used to show Harris's incompetence. She appears here dancing and clapping along to a song in Puerto Rico. The funny part is, they were protesting her. Her aide had to come over and tell her, then she put her hands down like nothing happened. You can't make this stuff up. It's like a scene from a movie.
It's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past but the future.
I don't even think Harris knows what she's talking about. It just shows you how corrupt the system is that this is what we get for the vice president.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
Joe. Joe. Okay, Joe. First of all, Trump is not, he is not your vice president, Joe. How are you trying to reassure people that Kamala is great and you don't even know she's your vice president?
How are two of the most powerful people in the country this incredibly unimpressive?
That's exactly right. And the reality is the people we elect to run the government in the United States anymore, Laura, they're not the ones who actually run the government. Kamala Harris's low IQ is the same as Joe Biden's cognitive difficulties. That's actually not a bug. It is a feature for the people who control them. That's what we ultimately need to dismantle in American politics. And I think Donald Trump winning this November is the last best chance we have in the foreseeable future to actually dismantle that managerial class in the deep state. That's what we're up against. And the figurehead they put up matters a lot less.
This is a symptom of the rot and corruption in the system. Being impressive is not important. It's compliance with the deep state that gets you ahead.
Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities.
She was talking about hurricane relief. Why would you bring up some DEI talking points? Because this is how the state apparatus works. Anytime they can use their buzzwords, they will. This is the type of stuff Trump's been talking about. Check out this clip of her trying to fill up a Tesla.
See, it's plugged in, so is it plugged into just a normal electric socket, right?
Yes, normally it's a 240 volt, but you can go ahead and plug in and
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we are.
That's it.
And there's no sound or fume.
There is nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's
So
all there
for
is
all of
to
us
it.
who are used to,
Every morning we
filling our tank, you usually can smell it and you can hear it. You can hear the guzzling sound.
Right.
None of that.
None of
so
that.
how do I know it's actually working?
It is. So typically, once you wave that card, it's actually charging. So
But
that's.
how would I know that? Tell me how I would know that.
So typically, excuse me.
Yes.
So typically, you come in, you wave this card,
Yeah.
and then what it would do is it would authenticate, and then the light turns green.
She's confused as to why there's no gas smell. It's an electric vehicle, you moron. Look at her trying to stick it in and just sit there and hold it. It's laughable. These clips are all over X right now.
You have to give him credit for one brilliant decision, probably the smartest decision he's ever made. He picked Kamala Harris as his vice president.
This is why the internet's so great. It's really hard to hide the incompetence. Make sure you hit the notification bell and subscribe to get notified for up-to-date info.